Well, a lovely day for digging up some World War II relics. Back at one of my favourite sites. This is the site of the Royal Army Ordnance Corps Disposal Unit, number 32 Ammunition Sub-Depot. Dealt with 30,000 tonnes of ordnance during World War II, and then at the end of it, they had to get rid of it. This is the old obelisk look at Garendon Park. Anyway, digging away. I've been here quite a few hours already. Not been doing much filming because it's quite windy and the microphone on this phone is a bit crap. But we've got something down here somewhere. See if we can get the light right so you can see him. Oh, that's better. Is this on? I can see it anyway. Look. Didn't need that really. This would appear to be the bottom of 40mm Bofors. There she is. It's about the 10th one I've found today so far. Lots of mine fuses, lots of the normal stuff that I find here. Yeah, looking pretty good. Some more filming in a minute. This place. We know where the disposal pit was, well at least the general location of it. But one of the guys has just been searching in an area that we'd never really found anything in before, and he came over and suggested we go over there because he was finding an awful lot of stuff, and I'm finding it as well, which is really strange because it's in a completely different location. God, I'm trying to get that out with my fingers. Just put a spade on it. See, another 40mm Bofors base. And it's quite a distance. It's a good, ooh, blimey, 150 yards from where we normally dig this stuff up, which is interesting. Gives us a whole new area to search, because nobody's searched around here before. Should be plenty around. Keep going. Well, just shoved the spade in the ground. There she is, old roughneck, to dig on this signal, and stopped because it's there. Look. So right on the surface, more or less. This is unfortunately not complete, but it is nonetheless a number 3 fuse from a Mark 5 anti-tank mine. British. Do find quite a lot of these up here. But that's quite handy, it being on the surface. Glad I spotted it before I dug down. Complete waste of energy. Onwards! I just got back from the dig, already cleaning relics as you can see. I don't like to leave them around in mud for very long, much prefer to get them clean as soon as I can. And people are often asking me how I actually clean the relics that I find, so I thought I'd show you a couple of different methods that I use. One of them is not to be recommended on stuff that is fragile, shall we say. I mean, even this method, got a wire brush. Most archaeologists would look at this kind of method and go, oh my goodness, look what he's doing. But this is rock solid stuff, it's not going to do it any damage at all. Cleaning it like this, all I'm doing is removing the surface mud, making sure that the thing's preserved and isn't going to deteriorate anymore. So just cleaning like this, I can already see that something like this, which is a number 3 fuse from a Mark 5 anti-tank mine, it's already got quite a few nice markings on it. So I can see that it was made in 1942, and on the top of it, it clearly says number 3. So number 3 fuse from a Mark 5 anti-tank mine. So that's the sort of clean that you can get just by using a wire brush. Also use stuff like this, which is one of these metal scourers, Brillo pads, and old dental toothpicks. Quite useful really, these getting into little nooks and crannies. So the bottom piece here where the gain has blown up when this thing's been disposed of in the disposal pit, it's fairly easy just to get in with one of these descalers and just get all the stuff out. You can even get in these little cracks, nooks and crannies here. Make sure you get all the mud out, stop it corroding. There you go, that's one method anyway. quite labour intensive, awful lot of work involved, getting into the various areas, giving it a good clean, and then of course what we've got to do is dry it. Now a lot of the time I'll just leave it to dry in the air, which is why I've got these towels. So old towels, certainly not your best tea towels, and just sit them on it and let them dry out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a different way of doing things. I'm going to clean a few more like this, just so as I've got something to compare, so that I can show you the results of the two different methods, so you can actually see the difference it makes using the other method. Anyway, be back in a bit. Now this is the result of just giving the relics a clean in hot soapy water with a wire brush and a Brillo pad and the metal scourer. You can see it's got them relatively clean. Nice markings on this one, number 3 ITX, and we've also got a maker here, S&C, and even the 40mm Bofors base. You can clearly see on here, if we can get it in the light, that's better. That one's dated 1944, CF, plenty of markings on there. So not a bad method, but you can see there's still quite a bit of muck on there despite them being cleaned for quite some period of time. So what do we do to get them even cleaner than this? Well, that's the $1 million question, isn't it? Let me show you what I do. So what we've got here, good old fashioned pillar drill. Wire wheel on the pillar drill. Now notice the size of this wheel. I have tried smaller diameter wheels, but they tend to mark a lot of the metal that you work against it. I've also tried brass wheels as well with the brass bristles. It's difficult to say. Unfortunately what happens is it tends to transfer brass onto the item, so you'll have a steel item that will end up kind of gold coloured, which is really annoying because it's then really difficult to get off. So this size of wheel, can't remember the size of it now, is it 100mm? Can't remember. Anyway, the bigger wheel, and really it's just a matter of working the relic against it. Now, as I've said before, this isn't a method that you would use on a nice hammered coin. The joy of World War II relics, of course, is that most of them are really substantial chunks of metal, so you can be quite rough with them to get them clean. So let me just show you what happens with this when we take that original number 3 fuse that's just been cleaned with the soapy water and the wire brush, and then I'll show you what it looks like once you've had to go with this. Safety glasses or goggles and some decent gloves. I found these gardening gloves work the best. Don't really want the wire brush getting against your skin. Give it a go. So, from that original one, we've now got something that is an awful lot cleaner. We've got a lot of markings on there that have shown up. I've got extra markings around here that I couldn't see before, and we've also got nice markings on the edge as well, along here, which actually has got the manufacturer and a date of 1942. So that's cleaned up really well. Let's try the same thing with this 40mm Bofors relic. Just again work it against the steel wheel while it's running, and let's see what this comes out like. Oh, okay. After the cleaning with the hot soapy water, it was relatively clean, but now we've got something like that, which is an awful lot cleaner. And we've got an awful lot of marks on there, that most of which weren't visible before. So this wire wheel really does work a lot of the muck off and reveal some markings that you wouldn't normally see. So here's a closer look now at the two pieces after they've been through the wire wheel process. You can see with the number 3 fuse, it doesn't get into nooks and crannies. If there's little bits in the way, won't get in there. So we've still got a bit of muck in there. I could get it out probably with I don't know, toothpick and things like that, the descaling tool, but really it's not worth it. It's perfectly clean as it is, won't corrode anymore. And as you can see with the Bowfish shell, we've got lots of marks on there. 1944 clearly visible, as is the 40mm along the top. It's just above where it says CF, and even the primer has got all its marks on there. We can see there, I think that's either 6 or 5, 44. So there we go. I can show you the date on the side of this as well. There's the date, 1942. So yeah, there we go. That's what I use, the old wire wheel on the pillar drill. Works wonders, highly recommended.